So the best things to see on an entry-level CV are the basics. Just make sure you've got your name and contact details clearly at the top. You've got your academic achievements noted in a simple way, and that you've got any relevant work experience in place. Now, don't worry if it's not publishing work experience. If you've been working in a bar or a restaurant, just highlight the skills that might be transferable to the publishing industry.
So the best things to put on your CV are your accomplishments. When it comes to jobs or voluntary positions or university society positions, you want to talk about the difference that you made there. You want to talk about the accomplishments. You don't want to list just kind of a bullet point list of the duties that you had. You want to make it really clear. You want to make things concise, easy to read, easy for someone to find information on. That means kind of keeping your margins wide. You want there to be white space, so people visually looking at it, it's just easy to see things, and it's not just a huge block of text.
I really want to see evidence of something beyond exam results. Maybe some volunteering that you've done, some part-time work, writing for the school magazine, Duke of Edinburgh Awards, that sort of thing. Doesn't have to be publishing related, just something that shows you've done something sort of extracurricular.
The best things to see on an entry-level CV are skills and passion, and it could be anything from social media to proactivism, reliability, or time management. So on your CV, make sure you highlight these skills and give examples of how you use them, how you develop them. And with regards to passion, everybody in the book industry has a passion for books, and you can show this in your CV by talking about the books that you read or the books that you review, that you've joined a book club, that you attend author events or go to literary festivals.
One of the best things to put on an entry-level CV are job-specific skills. So make sure when you're reading the job description, you have a look at all the responsibilities they're looking for or the skills they're looking for, and make sure you're using those in your CV. All of your responsibilities should also start with a verb. So for example, you can start each bullet point with things like managed, organized, collaborated, led, or produced, just to show that you're being really active and to focus on the things that you did in your role that's relevant.
A common mistake that people make on their CV are putting everything that they've ever done on there. So a CV is a marketing tool. It's a marketing tool for yourself. It's your highlight reel. So I would normally have one master document that just lists everything I've ever done, and you can use that as a template. So every time you're applying for a new job, you can then pick and choose the points or accomplishments that are most relevant to that specific job, so that you can tailor your application every time without having to write it from scratch. Another very common mistake that people have on their CVs is that they don't turn off the function for track changes. And depending on the software, sometimes when someone receives it, you can see all of the changes they've made previously or comments that other people have put on it, which obviously we all know that everyone does. That's absolutely fine. But you don't want to present that to someone else.
So there are some common problems that we see with entry-level CVs. The most obvious would be lots of typos. So just make sure that you've taken the time to proofread carefully and had help to do that if possible. Not using too many fonts and keeping your format nice and clear and simple. Not making it too long. And finally, a top tip, making sure that you have a professional email address. So if you've got a personal email address that isn't quite appropriate for a professional CV, just set a professional email address up solely for this purpose.
Your CV should never be more than 2 pages long, so you cannot waste space talking about the same things. You need to constantly be using other keywords, other buzzwords, showing different skills.
And finally, get your application in before the deadline.
When you're trying to get into this industry, because it is so competitive, you need to have that kind of community and safe space. So I always say to people, join up to the Publishing Hopefuls on Facebook and to Pub Interns on Twitter, and to get to know your peers.